Welcome to this all about Symbian video. Here we're going to look at the Nokia 6650, an S60 handset that is exclusive to T-Mobile. The 6650 is a clamshell handset. As you can see, it's mainly finished in this metallic material. This gives it quite a stylish look and also makes for excellent build quality. Size-wise, the 6650 is pretty small for an S60 device, as we can see here with it compared next to the N78. It's bigger than some clamshells, but it should still be eminently pocketable. It does get quite big when opened up, but the majority of the time that's not going to be an issue. The 6650's hinge feels pretty robust. It should last the course. It opens up to fit into the shape of your face, and this should help improve audio quality in calls. The keypad is completely flat, but is made of two separate textured materials, and together with good tactile feedback and generous spacing means you should be able to achieve pretty good text entry speeds. The 6650 runs S60 3rd Edition Feature Pack 2. That brings a number of improvements to both usability and personalisation. The most obvious among these is the central soft key. It also has the standard S60 software suite, although this has been customised for T-Mobile. This customisation takes two forms. The first is rebranding, and the second is swapping out applications altogether. An example of the rebranding is Web, which has been rebranded Web and Walk and has T-Mobile bookmarks in the browser. An example of the second is Jukebox, which leads to the T-Mobile Music Store. This replaces the Nokia Music Store icon. T-Mobile uses MusicWave's white label solution to power its mobile jukebox. There's nothing that really stands out here. There are some good prices on offer, but on the whole it's more expensive than the bigger download stores. A bigger problem is the quality of the downloaded music. Here a 3.5 minute track comes in at just over a megabyte, suggesting that quite a bit of compression has been used. It's also in a non-standard format and there's fairly heavy DRM involved, a bit of a problem if you plan to listen to it elsewhere than on your phone. Incidentally, you can still use the Nokia Music Store. You just need to go to the music.nokia.com website and select the appropriate country store. As previously mentioned, the web browser has been customised with a T-Mobile homepage and various links, but of course you can still use it with any other website and it works just as well as on any other S60 device. Another T-Mobile customisation is support for mobile TV. There's various channels available which you can subscribe to for varying cost levels. It uses Real Player to play back TV. Here's an example of showing the ITN News headlines. As with other 3G streamed mobile TV services, the quality leaves a bit to be desired, but should be okay for a few minutes. Nokia's own services do get a look in, but only in the form of Nokia Maps, version 1.2 here, which takes advantage of the integrated GPS. Aside from these software and service offerings, it's the standard S60 software package. Nokia Search is included, but the other extras we're used to seeing, such as Quick Office and Nokia Podcasting, are not. However, the 6650 does have a number of extra tricks up its sleeve, which makes it stand out from some of the other S60 handsets. The most notable of these is the cover UI available on the external screen. This gives select access to a number of applications, including Music Player, Camera and Calendar. You navigate around this UI using 3 touch-sensitive controls and a directional control on the side of the device. Some of the applications are actually unique to the cover UI, such as Stopwatch, shown here. With the Music menu, you can access all the core music playback functionality of the phone from the cover UI, navigating through the music library before going on to the Now Playing screen, which shows details about the track as well as a little equalizer. The 6650 has a mono speaker, which isn't much good for music, but there is a standard 2.5mm audio jack and there's also support for A2DP Bluetooth. If you open up the device with the music menu active in cover UI mode, it will show the music playing application in the full screen mode, and vice versa. I think this gives the 6650 quite strong music credentials. It's certainly convenient being able to access the music library from the outside of the handset. However, it should be noted that the cover UI touch-sensitive controls can be a bit fiddly and aren't always responsive as they should be. It's a similar story with the camera application. Open up the phone and you get the standard S60 camera application. This is pretty basic with just a toolbar to access a few core functions. However, given that it's a 2 megapixel camera, this is all that's really required. As you'd expect with such a camera, the quality of the captured images is decidedly average. Although to be fair, it's not so much down to the megapixels as the lack of the autofocus. The camera application can also be used to capture video. Here's a demo courtesy of Steve.
So this is a test video on the Nokia 6650. A Nokia clamshell, very rare.
The other unique feature of the 6650, at least for S60 handsets, is the ability to set the keypad lights in the personalization menu of settings. You can set it through a variety of colours, but potentially more useful is to use these keypad light changes as notifications for events such as incoming text messages or missed calls. Here in the video we can see a run through of these different colours. Personally, I think this kind of customization is a great idea. It's very useful in the notification sense, but I also think it's got mass appeal in terms of being a stylish extra for the phone. Sure, it's a bit of a gimmick, but on such features are some people's purchase decisions made. One final feature that's worth mentioning is the surprise you get when you take off the back cover. There's the BP4L 1500 mAh battery. That's the same as in the E90 and the E71. The huge battery, which takes up most of the space of the phone, will give excellent battery life. Given that the 6650 is exclusive to the T-Mobile network, the 6650 is something of an oddity among S60 phones. It's a relatively basic phone in many ways. It's certainly not going to attract the interest of N-series users, but I came away pretty impressed. It's a pretty stylish design, the build quality is good, and there's some unique standout features. It's clear a lot of thought has gone into the design of this phone, so I think it's really something of a shame that it's not going to be available to a wider audience.